well, not good morning because it's not morning anymore. Hey, everybody. Hope you guys had a wonderful Easter weekend. Even if you don't celebrate Easter, it's apparently Easter weekend. That's what we call it. So I see some friends joining me. Go ahead and use the comment section to say hi if you want. There's a couple things I want to talk about. But if you have something you'd like to talk about, I am totally down with that. So first thing I want to talk about is all of the Easter candy in our house. And thanks to my idea to be a jerk, I've got two of my Jewish friends in the neighborhood have Easter candy in their house too. So I thought, let's give their kids a chocolate bunny, which is apparently delicious no matter what your religion is. But for many of us, we have houses filled with jelly beans and chocolate and those marshmallow things, which I've banned from this household. But now we got to stare it in the face, right? We have to stare this junk in the face. So I have teenagers. My children are 16 and 18. And shockingly, the Easter bunny is still coming to my house. I put up a sign. I said, hey, they're maybe too old for this, but no, the Easter bunny still shows up here with baskets. And one of the Easter bunnies doesn't have any restraint. So there's dozens and dozens of little plastic eggs hidden all over my house on Easter morning for my 16 and 18-year-old to wake up and find. And I have to admit that it's actually very, very fun to see my 6'1" son running around the house in his pajamas with a little basket. Finding eggs. Now the eggs are up very high. There's a lot down low, which is great. It's like squats. We're going to make the kids do squats if they want to get the eggs. But yeah, the Easter bunny can hide plastic eggs way up high now, which is very, very funny. One of the Easter bunnies is too short to hide them up high, but the other Easter bunny can put them on high places. I guess chairs could be involved, etc. But thankfully, the real Easter bunny can hop and has no problem with height, etc., etc. So the moral of the story is there's these giant chocolate hollow bunnies here. There's jelly beans, and someone mentioned it. There's Jen Hall, Reese's peanut butter cups. Yes, you would have a hard time in my house because there's Reese's. There's Cadbury eggs. There are Whoppers. It's a problem. Oh, but here's the thing. There's also bubble blowing machines, sidewalk chalk. There's some new bath bombs that Crayola has come out with. And apparently if you put the bath bomb in your bath, it makes your water like jelly. I'm not sure. We haven't used it yet, but yeah, it could be concerning. There's actually a warning on the label that says only use one bath bomb, or I believe your bathtub will turn into gelatinous goo and possibly clog your pipes. There's a lot of stuff happening in my house. So, but yeah, there's toys. There's a tie-dyeing machine. And when my kids were little, and the Easter bunny had a little extra control, Easter bunny would bring swimsuits, was always preparing for spring. So swimsuits, goggles, hats, snorkels, things like that. Things have gotten out of hand here, I'm confessing. The Easter bunny is wreaking havoc in my home. And now, as many of us are, we have to face the fallout of the basket. And so this is what I want to talk to you about. Look at, I can't even tell who this is. But the Easter bunny bought protein bars, which is very, very clever. Easter bunny, this Easter bunny, the Florida Easter bunny didn't think of that in advance. And hello, mystical user who I cannot recognize. If you're coming from Facebook, StreamYard will ask you to agree to identify yourself. And if not, you're going to be anonymous. So I'd love it if you leave your name along with your message. And I'm going to jump into a sidebar because Jen Hall just reached out. And here's the deal with Jennifer Hall. She's always running races. She's one of the fittest girls alive. However, the past year, she's been kind of silent. And I just imagined it was because there was no races, but she told me she's fallen off the wagon a little bit with fitness. So Jen, enough's enough. Go back to being fit girl status, okay? This is who you are. So if you've let it go, fine. Today's your day. You jump back in. No more excuses, and we will hold you accountable. I promise. Okay, so here we go with the Easter stuff. You have to get rid of it. It's no good for you or your little kids. It's no good for any of you. And so here are some strategies for getting rid of the candy other than ingesting it. So there's a couple things. A, you could tell your kids that there are some children who the Easter Bunny missed, and perhaps you could bundle it up and share some with other kids. And you can just tell them they're needy kids. Or maybe have some Jewish friends or some non-religious friends who don't have Easter candy, and maybe you're going to share it with them. But either way, the kids don't necessarily know exactly who the candy is going to. You may just maybe making a donation. There's also dentists buying back candy as they do with Halloween. So you could gather up the basket and bring it to a dentist. They'll put it on a scale and they'll give your kid a few bucks per pound, which is awesome because kids actually like money. If you say, hey, you take the money, you can go buy your Pokemon cards or I don't know, whatever the kids like these days. I'm so fortunate mine are older, but yeah, older yet I'm still dealing with Easter candy. And then here's the other thing, you can just go into the basket and if they've got 100 pieces, if you take 5 and you throw them away, they're not going to notice. And if you do that every single day, take a few pieces here and there and just dispose of it, less candy for everybody is actually really good for everybody. So if you have some good ideas on getting rid of Easter candy, I love that. I hear firemen love jelly beans. Firemen love those Peeps or whatever. Just do something. Oh, and I think with the Peeps, you can do science projects with them. There's some things listed online. You could Google search science projects with Peeps. And if nothing else, you can light them on fire in your fireplace. And that's probably looks cool to see the little bunnies and birds burn. Because why does anybody want to eat those things? I'm very confused. So anyways, I think the Easter candy issue is a crisis because for many of us who'd like to stay healthy and not eat too much, I even have a very hard time looking a chocolate bunny in the face. It wants me to eat it, and I prefer to eat tail first. I'm a booty biter, and we were actually counseling our friends, the little Jewish kids, when we gave them their bunny. I suggested they eat the tail first, and my kids were like, no, you should definitely eat the ears, and we had a big conversation about it. Yes, great art projects too. Thank you, Jen. So science projects, art projects, you can glue the jelly beans down to pieces of paper. Maybe that's what you're going to do. You're going to make a magical Easter artwork and glue all the candy there, rendering it inedible. In fact, when we do gingerbread houses on Christmas time, all the candy that goes down there, nobody eats it because they instantly say, oh, it's a dust bunny now. It has dust on it. It's been out. Nobody can eat it. And usually nobody does. They just sit there and they don't necessarily rot because I don't think jelly beans or, those things rot. However, you got to get them out of your house. It's the moral of the story. Don't give them to your dog, but give them to anyone and put them anywhere else that you can escape from the Easter candy. And then the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is napping. So I actually just took a nap and I was doing makeup and I had these lines on my face from the pillow. And I thought, oh, I have to get rid of those lines because they looked weird and then people would see them. And then I thought, you know what? No, I think I should talk to people about napping because it's a very real and a very important thing to do. Excuse me, my phone just buzzed. So yeah, I highly encourage napping. In fact, I am a regular napper. I am somebody who, if I wake up and I didn't have a good night's sleep and I just feel that fatigue, the overwhelming fatigue, I tap out from reality and say, okay, I'm going to go take a nap. Now, mind you, if you're working at, I don't know, NASA or something, that might be challenging, but it also may not be challenging. So with much of the world working from home right now, I think naps are more attainable than ever, which is very exciting news. You could just tell your boss that you're working on a project for half an hour. And what they recommend, the experts recommend, is a 20-minute nap is best because it doesn't let you go too far and then you'll wake up groggy. 20 minutes is the secret for a refreshing nap that gives you the gusto to get through the rest of your day. And I'm a big fan of that. I don't think there's anything wrong. I value sleep till no end. In fact, I love, love, love exercise and activity, but I also equally look forward to the time of day where I can put my head down and close my eyes. And here's the deal for everyone who's trying to become fitter. If you're working on eating wisely and exercising often and getting active and getting outdoors, sleep matters, right? Because here's the deal. Tired people don't make good choices when it comes to food. Tired people aren't willing to cook. Tired people aren't willing to wait. Tired people get kind of grouchy, right? So if you pair fatigue with hunger, you're definitely going to crave and stop off at McDonald's and get some sort of triple Big Mac with a sugary soda, et cetera, or you're going to lean on caffeine to try and get you through it. Tired people do not often reach for bananas and pears and nuts and seeds and things like that are healthy. They just give in because they have no energy to hold out. So fatigue will disrupt your quality eating habits. And then tired people are far less likely to exercise. And doesn't that make sense? You need energy to exercise. Now, on the flip side of that argument, exercise creates energy, right? It's like your own solar power system or wind power, right? You exercise, all of a sudden, zoom, 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 zoom. The energy levels in your body come up because you're creating it. But the reality is, if you're tired, fatigued, exhausted, whatever, you're not likely to even begin exercise, and you won't even have the opportunity to create that wind energy yourself because you would have tapped out on it. Hold on, let's see. Dave, loving power naps. Me too. Jen says, I shouldn't be sharing this, but I've not been to bed since 7 a.m. yesterday. Okay, so that's a real problem. I'm glad we're discussing this. Maybe this conversation is specific to you, Jen, but you're trying to get fit. This is your day, this is your week where you've decided, I'm going to get fit again. I'm going to commit myself to exercise and eating right. And then you've had no sleep. It just won't work. I'm going to tell you right now, you've set yourself up for failure. So I am committed to you getting some solid sleep. Now, I'll do another episode talking about sleep in general, but I don't just think, I truly believe that power naps are a really responsible thing to do, not only for your own health. You know, if you start that day fatigued and you know you just don't have it, a brief power nap is going to help you get the gusto to get up and get your stuff done, but also get a good workout, make better choices with eating. And if you do your power nap early enough in the day, it will not disrupt your ability to get to sleep at night. So they say 3 p.m. cutoff. Now, of course, that's different for everybody, but I would say halfway through your day or before, that's where you should put in a power nap. And then after that, perhaps you just have a restful moment. Perhaps you just sit outside in your hammock or in your swing chair or a recliner and have some actual rest. I find that some genuine downtime also will work to revive me, especially if I'm on the later part of my day. So I love you guys commenting here. Jen said, I had the opportunity during the night to get off my bed, but I really liked working out at 3:30 a.m. I got it done and could still get, okay, so why didn't you sleep at all last night? You should have slept till 3. And I think it's very admirable to get up and exercise before work. I think that's a wonderful idea, but you have to go to bed early. You have to make sleep a priority. You can't just not sleep. This is not going to work for anyone. So power naps, this is how I do it. So if I'm not at an event, I'm working from home, and so I can just go into my bedroom. Some people need everything turned off, a very restful environment. I need boring television on. So I know that if I turn on some sort of documentary about the Egyptian pyramids, something that I'm not so interested in, that will allow me to turn off my brain. So that's actually what I need help with. I need to shut off Fitzness because I'm always thinking. And if I shut off Fitzness with a lesson on the ancient pyramids, then I can pass out. And quite often I'll set my alarm and I just get up 20 minutes later. And quite often my body will just wake up 20 minutes later. If I give myself a 30-minute window for rest, quite often I'll wake up before that, but I wake up so refreshed. It's a new me. And believe it or not, I get super tired, just like the rest of you, rest of everybody. So yeah, I think it's definitely a vital component to my day. I would not be able to have this conversation with you right now if I did not have a nap an hour ago and put these little wiggly lines on my face. Pillow lines, so nice. But here's the other things you can do. Not everyone's working from home. If you are, use it, and you have to turn off your phone, put the little moon on, so nobody can interrupt you. Put a note on your front door, do not knock, and give yourself that window, that chunk of time. You are going to get rest, and then you wake up going, wow, I feel great. Now I can tackle the world. 20 minutes goes a long way. I am proof positive it works. But here's the deal. You can also get naps at your office. If you work in an office, we'll make it happen, right? If you're someone with an office door, you put the note on the door. They're probably going to think you're on a very important conference call. And then you take that yoga mat. You know how you're so fit and you exercise, people expect to see the yoga mat. You just put the yoga mat on the floor and you have a little nap. And that reminds me, when I was in college, my dorm was right next to the architecture building. And I had some good friends who were architecture students, and they were in there working so hard so often that they would put down cardboard. That was their bed. They would make these little cardboard beds. I guess maybe it was before yoga mats or no one thought of that. But yeah, they would have naps on their cardboard beds in the architecture building. And it really, it really worked for them. So you got to make it happen, right? The other thing is, take the given opportunities for downtime. For me, I get my lashes done. So look, I have lash extensions, which I think are wonderful. And my lashes are still a little nubby from chemo. So hopefully they'll grow back normal. Anyhow, but when I'm in there, I'm on my back with my eyes forced closed. So instead of chit-chatting the whole time, I just pass out. And I think my lash lady's probably accustomed to that. If you are so fortunate to be able to go get a massage or get your pedicure or something, just rest back, close your eyes, and relax. That is an okay thing to do. And then the other wicked move that's so genius, I don't know if it's so genius or not, but, and I probably can't do it in my Wrangler right now, but having SUVs, I have been known to go to stop in a safe parking lot where I know there's lots of people around, well lit, maybe in front of the grocery store or whatever. If I'm waiting for my kids, lie down in the back seat, cover myself with a blanket and have a nap. Either way, you gotta get it done. If you wake up exhausted, you're only gonna operate at 30% through the whole day if you don't get some rest. So if you have little tricks for getting naps throughout your day, let me know. I would love to see it. So Jerry, so this is what everyone needs to know about Jerry. Great guy, great athlete. He likes to ruck, which means he carries a sack on his back and he goes and does races. He's got a beautiful wife, Yesenia, who he clearly loves very, very much because he moved from sunny Central Florida. They went up to visit Michigan, and her Yesenia was like a German Shepherd in the snow. She was so happy with the cold weather. So she said, let's move up here. And Jerry ditched Florida for Michigan because he loves his woman so much. So I think that's impressive. Okay, what's he has to say? Naps are great, but if you find yourself not being able to stay awake every afternoon, you may want to look into possible sleep apnea. It can cause all kinds of health problems, including not be able to properly recover from exercise. Absolutely. I mean, again, sleep is hugely important, and I'm going to dedicate a podcast just to sleep. We will talk, maybe I'll bring in a sleep expert for that, but this one just about power naps. But you're right, you won't be able to accomplish anything. And I know Jerry's job is fairly complicated, and I don't think he would be so successful if he was Mr. Foggy Brain all day. Yeah, it's brutal. Exhaustion is no joke, and even very, very healthy people have to deal with that, have to take naps. And here's the other thing. If you are waking up unrested, exhausted, that might mean you're not such a healthy person. That might mean that you should go talk to a doctor and say, hey, what's going on? You get involved in a sleep study, or perhaps there's some other underlying issue that is keeping you from resting well. And you know, we talk about this all the time is, you know, we bring our cars in for annual checkups, right? Bring it to the mechanic and say, have a look, check the oil, you know, make sure things are operating properly. You've got to do the same thing for your body. You are aware, you check. If you find something wrong, if your check engine light goes on, you bring your body in. But it's always a good idea, I think, to have those annual exams, or I know it's a good idea to have those annual exams and have a primary care where you can just go in and say, hey, I wake up sleepy, or hey, I have heartburn, or whatever it is. I think that's, you know, that matters to your overall health picture for sure. Oh, Christy, you can nap. I bet you can nap. Come to my house. We could cuddle up. You just got to find the secret sauce, the recipe for napping that works for you. Again, I know that I need boring television on in the background if I'm at home, so I can turn off my brain. My busy brain is my greatest obstacle to sleep. But if I can get something to distract me from my big ideas, then I can get some rest. So Christy, I want you too. But Christy's great. She's in my Hottie Body Fitness Challenge. Christy and I went to college together. She's beautiful with an incredible family, but she lives out west and she's always hiking these beautiful mountains, and she posts these incredible pictures every day. And yesterday she wore shorts. She wore shorts. She's on with the shorts agenda. And also this week we'll be talking about the tank top mandate and the shorts agenda, because it's important business and everyone needs to get on board with those two political platforms. See, maybe Christy, maybe you need a boring documentary on in the background. That's what I do. Fitzness, going. So if I turn on the TV and put on something very boring that I have no interest in, I could pass out. Let's see. Dave Burnell, trying to cut out all sugars at 6 p.m. at night and you will sleep better too. Yeah, so sugar, caffeine, there's certainly some things that will keep you up at night. And again, we'll talk about that when we do a whole podcast on just sleep in general. But yeah, the things you put in your mouth, the way you move your body or do not, will all affect your ability to sleep. But here's the deal. You must get a nap, not every day, but on some days. And you'll know when you wake up and think, oh my God, I can't. When you wake up excited about bedtime, you know you need a nap. You know you need a nap, but I definitely say start your day with a shower. And if you can't take a nap, jump into the shower, get some cold water on your face. That's at least a refreshing boost if you cannot do a nap. And you might be able to get showers in more places than once. And I talk about it here. One of my chapter titles is called Naked in the Airport. And that happened. Very proud of that. Very, very proud of this book. If you have not read My Noisy Cancer Comeback, today is the day. Go to fitzness.com. I have a free shipping code. It's got Survivor. Even if you're not a survivor, you can use it. But yeah, that's a very funny experience I have. What's it called? Chapter 6, when things go wrong, don't go with them. Naked in the airport. And I was naked in the Atlanta airport during my treatment on a trip. And yeah, you'll see how it turns out when you read about it. But the moral of the story is when I go back to Atlanta airport, I always check to see if that bathroom's open, if I have enough time. Sometimes, quite often I have quick layovers, but if I have more than an hour and a half at Atlanta, you bet your butt I'm going straight to terminal, I think it's A or E. One of them has a great shower in the Delta Sky Lounge, and I know, a big fan. So midday showers work, and I highly recommend that. What else is going on with your lives, guys? You've had great insight. Who here takes naps? Besides just me. I don't take them every single day, but I definitely take them on a regular basis. And they change my world, certainly allow me to function better and allow me to do what I need to do. It's important. I'm guessing Jerry takes naps. And Dave says, I like to power nap during surgery. That feels great. I want you to know that I hope if I am in surgery, everyone takes a little power nap so we can all rest together. In fact, one of the greatest naps ever, the greatest sleeps is post-surgical sleep. So I've had a few surgeries in my life, but what always reigns powerful is how I feel when they wake me up in the recovery room. It's the best sleep ever. I don't recommend going to get sedated for sleep, but I usually will argue and say, no, let me go back to bed. And they will say, okay, Sleeping Beauty, we'll give you more time. And then I pass out. Lord knows how much time they actually gave me. Maybe they gave me like 4 minutes. No, I want to do it. Shelly, whenever I go to, she's keeping us waiting. This is a very anticipatory comment. Shelly, got to know whenever you go to what? Jerry and his beautiful wife. Jesse says I nap on weekends, but I'm just watching TV. I like it when people watch TV and snore. That is a very effective way to consume information. I disappeared, but here I am. I came back. Thank goodness. Yeah, I definitely think snoring while watching TV is an effective way to get rest and consume entertainment. Dave, the entire surgical team takes a 20-minute power nap before a very long surgery. Oh, that is awesome nap conversation. Yeah, and so what are your tips, Dave? How do you get to sleep? You have this power nap. What do you do to relax and actually shut down? And it kind of is just like powering off your phone. You know how your phone starts getting slow and it won't respond to your fingers? Yeah, thank you, Jen. I don't know where I went. I disappeared. I had a little heart attack. But yeah, you're slow. Even your phone, your technology needs a nap. So I know that naps are good. It's kind of like plugging into the wall and recharging. Dave, what are your tips? You left me hanging there. How does the whole surgical team get to sleep? I also wonder if you're still there, Dave, and you have quick answers for me, is if there's all these little bunk beds in the hospital, much like Grey's Anatomy. I watch Grey's Anatomy, and the medical staff is always getting it on. Always getting it on in those little nap rooms. And if that happens, because that is that's pretty impressive to be able to do that at work, I guess. Jennifer says Zappos offers nap rooms. I love it. Yeah, and there's other benefits to working for Zappos besides naps. Rudy, sleep is heaven. I think I'm a more sleepy race announcer than Rudy. I love sleep so much. Dave, we all go into the bunk room, lights out, and set a timer. All phones go off. That's interesting. Can you imagine sleep? I mean, Dave can imagine this because he does it, but sleeping in a room full of grown-ups, because I imagine many of the grown-ups snore, so you probably have to have little ear things. That's a good napping policy, is everybody gets the noise-canceling earphones. But yeah, I'm going back there. I need to interview a bunch of medical people, because I do feel like all hospitals are Grey's Anatomy and those little nap rooms are hookup rooms. I don't know. Does anyone else think that? Or maybe I've just watched too much television. On occasion, I ask my friends that are nurses in a hospital or doctors, and I say, are people hooking up in the rooms? And they're like, well, sometimes. I don't know. Are there locks on those doors? Oh, look at this. Scandalous. They are. Dave, are you hooking up in the nap rooms? I can ask you this because we're friends and it's just between you and I, Dave. Are you also part of the hookup party in the nap room? See, this is great information we're getting today. It's important stuff that we all kind of need to know. Dave, and Dave has a daughter, but he's going to answer honestly. Dave's a handsome guy. I bet he's definitely hooking up in the nap rooms. There's no, oh yeah, so this is it. I'm gonna take that as a yes. Congratulations, Dave. What a fun job you have. You get to open people up and fix them, have your little nap, and have your little post-surgery party in the nap room. Oh, look, and he's honest. It has happened. I feel like this is my great victory for the day. Does anyone else want to congratulate Dave on his fun workplace hookup? I'm so excited. This is very exciting information. I didn't really think this napping conversation was going to go the way it has gone, but I love it. I love it. And if anybody else has workplace hookups and you want to talk about it on my podcast, for certain, we can do that. I got no problem with that. And I think it's very fun and funny. I don't know. I don't think he's commenting again. All right. So listen, I have a conference call in a few minutes, potentially picking up a new race to announce this year, which I'm super excited about. I'm knock on wood and not reveal what it is because I do not want to jinx myself. But I have put up a calendar on Fitzness Facebook page. It has a handful of my events there. Only a handful of those I'm actually planning to announce, but with things being very strange this year, I didn't want to put too many down unless I feel very confident these races are going to happen. Gasparilla is next for me. That's in Tampa, Publix. Gasparilla Distance Classic. It's a hybrid race. We're not having a mass start, but I highly encourage you to register. Come to Tampa. Florida is open for business. The beaches are open. The museums, all the fun is open. We're going to have thousands of athletes there. And the way it's going to work is you're just going to have Bayshore Boulevard between 5 and 11:45 a.m. to do your distance. So there won't be a mass start for any of the 4 distances, but I will be there at start and finish line arches, and I will have music and I will have organized chaos. And I'm very, very excited to see as many of you as possible. They always have great shirts. They always have great medals. And again, this year we're encouraging people to dress up like pirates. So I have a discount code. I think it's Fitzness21 or Fitzness 2021. If you want it, message me and I'll find out exactly what it is. But I have terrible, terrible memory for stuff like that. I usually try to get my race directors to give me either Fitzness or Team Noisy because that's all I can remember. But on occasion they get tricky and then it falls out of my head. But if you want a discount code for Gasparilla, I still want you to come. I promise to make your start and finish very special. And then we're likely all going to get together in the afternoon and evening and have some swashbuckling fun. So with that, I'm going to giddy up. It's been great chatting with you all today. I will be back tomorrow. And if you have anything special you'd like to talk about, let me know on social media. Just send me a topic idea and we'll get to it. Get to work, guys. I love you. Go take a nap. Bye.